There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. Bruce Lee. My friends, each and every minute, 10 to 15 minutes a day. No, I think I mean each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. Sorry about that. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks are mixed. Bonds, gold are up. Bitcoin is down. Let's jump into these charts. We see the S&P 500 down 0.24%. You can see 1, 2, 3 days of down movement as things pushed through the weekly trend line back on Tuesday in the morning. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We look at how things have moved off the prior high that we hit, the high of highs. We have a doji this week, lots of indecision tending down. How are we going to be on the volume? Well, we've got one more day in this shortened week. I don't think we're going to be up to average volume. So we see stocks blowing off a lot of that energy that they moved up over those prior 3 weeks. And we'll continue to see sort of how things shape up. We could see more if we had more volume. Again, when the market doesn't tell us, then it doesn't tell us. Again, if you were in this trade, we saw where things started slowing down. We're already into the second candle on the 2-day chart of a down move. We knew there was probably a ceiling here where it hit and stopped. So, of course, those of you that were in that up trade, hopefully you carved out a little bit of profit there. Again, if you did not and you're still holding on, okay, have a good reason for it. Do be ready to pull that before you lose all the profits that you did earn. I mean, things are a little stuck. They could go up if there was some real catalyst that shot the market up. That is possible. Now look at where we are on the NASDAQ 100. We didn't have it get anywhere near the prior high like the S&P. We saw it move up that high that it reached lately, and again, not average or above average volume there. That was on the week beginning the 19th. Things slackened last week, and of course, we have a red down candle this week. That is more movement down. Again, you can look at spinning tops as having some indecision in them too. Not as much as dojis, so, more emphasis on that down move. And we look at the 2-day candles. We push through all the way back on the Thursday, Friday. Then, of course, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and this Thursday, we see the candle moving down. Now, it is technically up 0.09%. These are Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. See the movement in the morning pairing off in the afternoon. So, again, downward pressure here on the NASDAQ 100, just like the S&P 500. Let's move on to 20-year government bonds. Up again today. We can see the candle is pushing through that prior high or prior ceiling that we had. And again, as it pushes through, again, it's nice to see. Look at the volume for this week. Look at the latest 2-day candle. Look at the half-day candle. 3 days of up movement. That is nice. Nice to see that primer going as high as things did before. I mean, again, we could make a move to try to increase it up to where the highs were on those candles. Let's look back here. Yeah, we're well above anything in the past. Don't really know if that's going to be much of a ceiling now. We could put that in with some caution on how we pay attention to it. If we do start seeing some slacking and some moving down, we could move that back down. Might give us a better feel for things. But right now, we'll just go ahead and adjust it a little bit, see if it holds and acts like a ceiling, or see if bonds just keep on moving up. It's good to see that volume in bonds. We haven't seen that volume since it hit that high right where we are now, this week, that it hit back on the week beginning the 5th of August. Now, what's interesting about that 5th of August? Well, you can see that 5th of August week is where stocks hit their lows. You can see where that 5th of August week, again, we had a lot of indecision in gold. You can see that 5th of August week we had things slam down in Bitcoin. So that is interesting, and that might give us something to look at and compare. Again, we're always looking for some advantage somewhere. Where might we have a ceiling? Where might we have a floor? Where do we see points where price might reach and hold at, reverse at, all those kind of things. So it's always about experimentation, thinking out of the box, looking and seeing what supports your theory. And again, if you can get some advantage on the market. Now, we see again, U.S. government bonds up for the day, 0.57%. Let's go on to gold. Gold up 0.83%. And again, as we look at gold, we can see where gold, of course, hit up on some highs in the last 2 weeks. This week, indecision. I redrew the trend line. We had a trend line back connecting, not quite connecting, but close enough, these three. When I move it up, it does move it a little closer to where we are, but still we can't capture this week in it. It is definitely broken it and below it. And of course, we have a green spinning top there, not quite a doji. As we look at where the volume was, I keep waiting to see if gold is going to go red on this, because our interim high was back here on August the 19th. Last week could be considered a dead week if indeed we get up to average or higher volume and this candle goes red. That might give us some idea, but look at the latest 2-day candle. We got a green one forming. As far as Heikin-Ashi candlestick goes on the 2-day chart, it's still below that weekly trend line. Half-day chart, we can see where things boomed up in the morning, slacked off a little bit in the afternoon. Still gold is up 0.83%. So that may not be happening, but we'll keep an eye on things, see what they show us. Now, lastly, we'll go to Bitcoin down. It's our big downer for the day. Well, it's only the second one. S&P was down technically 0.24%. However, Bitcoin is down 3.52%, a big down move for the day. I mean, not the biggest we've ever seen, but we do have a red down candle forming after 3 weeks of some indecision, with a red, then 2 green spinning tops, almost a doji last week. We can look at the volume, not up to average. We were above average, in that big down move. And of course, in that peak where things, the interim peak back on the week beginning the 29th of July, and then following where Bitcoin just trashed itself on the week beginning the 5th of August. So we'll keep an eye on things, see if anything heats up volume-wise. We can see where on the 2-day chart, Bitcoin most recently peaked back on the Friday chart, and then that's the Friday 2-day, and then the 23rd of August, that Friday and Monday, that would have been the 26th, I believe. And then, of course, we saw things start tracking down on the Tuesday, Wednesday, 27th, 28th, and then the Thursday, Friday. And those candles have been accelerating in size. And, of course, the volume peaked most recently yesterday, on the Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. And we're not even up to half of that so far in the down move over the course of the day. Looks like most of that took place in the morning, but Bitcoin again pulling back. So that is where we are, my friends. We always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. Don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions, problems, concerns. Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. I've already produced, I did it yesterday and uploaded it last night. So Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies is there for you. It is Thursday. We will be emailing that to you along with the weekly vertical crossovers. And again, if for some reason you don't see that email, just go to the Patreon site. We always load everything up there for you too. Just in case there's some snafu, the email doesn't get out, or you don't see it, or it goes into your spam filter. Who knows the vicissitudes of email, but we always put everything up at the Patreon page for you also. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.